Did you know what were the top 9 battles that ended historical wars? These battles ended the long-lasting conflicts between nations and ushered in a new era in history. 9. The fall of Constantinople. Byzantium, or the Byzantine Empire, blossomed in the ashes of ancient Rome. For over 1,000 years, the empire expanded and contracted. The Ottoman Turks under Mehmed II were out to end Christian hegemony in the region. Mehmed laid siege to the Theodosian walls of Constantinople until the city fell. The siege was a watershed moment in European and military history. Many historians consider the battle the end of the Middle Ages. Additionally, the Ottoman use of gunpowder bombards during the siege ended once and for all the viability of city walls as a viable military defense. 8. The Battle of Tenochtitlan. The Spanish conquistador Hernán Cortés landed in Mexico in 1519 with a force of less than 1,000 men. For 2 years, he set his sights on the Aztecs, making his way inland to the capital, Tenochtitlan. Along the way, Cortés allied with native rivals to the Aztecs. The combined force reached Tenochtitlan, one of the world's largest cities, in 1521. Aztec Emperor Montezuma hoped for peace and let Cortés enter the city for peace talks. Unfortunately, Cortés wasn't interested, holding Montezuma hostage instead. While the Spanish prepared for a final assault, the city was ravaged by smallpox. The subsequent 80-day siege broke the Aztecs, ending one of the world's great empires and enshrining 3 centuries of Spanish rule. 7. The Battle of Hastings. After the fall of the Roman Empire, the Anglo-Saxons conquered England and ruled for hundreds of years. In 1066, Anglo-Saxon King Edward the Confessor died and was succeeded by self-proclaimed King Harold II, a claim disputed by William the Duke of Normandy in France. William the Conqueror landed on English shores with a sizable force, thirsty for battle. Harold, leading a force of conscripted infantry, was no match for William's cavalry. At Hastings, Harold was killed in the fighting, granting William a decisive victory. 6. Battle of Amiens. The Battle of Amiens was the last major offensive in World War I, kicking off the Allied 100 Days Offensive. Amiens allowed the Allies to halt German momentum and reverse it. They pushed forward 7 miles on the first day, one of the longest advances during the whole war. British and French forces won decisive victories, taking a tremendous number of German prisoners. The battle caused a complete 180 in the morale of the respective sides, crippling the German spirit. 5. The Battle of Zama. The Punic Wars were brutal clashes between the 2 great powers of the ancient Mediterranean, Rome and Carthage. Rome faced a deadly enemy in Carthaginian General Hannibal, who decimated the Romans at Cannae. By 203 BCE, Roman General Publius Scipio invaded Carthage itself in North Africa. At Zama, Scipio used his cavalry to deadly effect, having chosen the field of battle in advance. Scipio defeated Hannibal, crushing Carthage and cementing long-term Roman hegemony in the Mediterranean, and gave birth to centuries of the great Roman Empire. 4. The Siege of Baghdad. At its height, the Mongol Empire was the largest contiguous land empire in human history. Mongke, the Mongol emperor and grandson of Genghis Khan, was looking to the Middle East and the Abbasid Caliphate. The Abbasids had created one of the most advanced civilizations in the world, the city of peace, Baghdad. In 1258, the Mongols laid siege. The city defenders quickly surrendered, but that didn't stop the Mongols from slaughtering tens of thousands of Baghdadis and ending the Abbasid Caliphate. 3. The Battle of Appomattox Courthouse. A Union victory during the American Civil War was not a foregone conclusion. Many battle-tested military leaders left the army to lead the Confederate forces of their home states. General Robert E. Lee was one of them, and he led the Confederates to victory after victory until Gettysburg turned the tide. Union General Ulysses Grant had been racking up victories in the West. By 1865, the generals were facing one another on the field of battle at Appomattox Courthouse, Virginia. After getting squeezed by Grant, Lee was finally forced to retreat and surrender. 2. The Battle of Marathon. Have you ever wondered why marathon races are 26 miles? The organizers of the first modern Olympics looked to ancient Greece and the Battle of Marathon. The Persian Empire attacked the Greeks, marching 20,000 troops towards Athens. The field of Marathon sat 26 miles from the Greek city-state. The Athenians placed their strongest troops on the flanks, facing weaker Persians and working their way inwards. A courier named Phidippides allegedly ran the 26 miles back to Athens to bring word of the victory, dying immediately afterwards from the exertion. 1. The Battle of Waterloo. Napoleon Bonaparte proved to be one of the greatest military commanders in history. He nearly conquered all of Europe before his defeat and exile to the island of Elba in 1814. Less than a year later, he escaped and raised a formidable army. A combined force of British, Dutch, Prussian, and other German troops faced him down at Waterloo. As it had rained the night before the battle, Napoleon waited until after midday to commence fighting. It gave the Prussians time to reach Wellington and win the day. Though Napoleon escaped to France, he was ultimately captured and exiled once more, thus ending France's dominance in Europe. Did you enjoy this video? Consider leaving a like and a comment. It helps our channel a lot. Thank you for watching.